Have you ever wondered why some places have huge mountains, deep valleys, and long cracks in the land? The answer lies deep under our feet, in folds and faults. What are tectonic plates? A tectonic plate, also called a lithospheric plate, is a massive, irregularly shaped slab of solid rock, generally composed of both continental and oceanic lithosphere. Plate size can vary greatly, from a few hundred to thousands of kilometers across. The Pacific and Antarctic plates are among the largest. The Earth is in a constant state of change. Earth's crust, called the lithosphere, consists of 15 to 20 moving tectonic plates. The plates can be thought of like pieces of a cracked shell that rest on the hot, molten rock of Earth's mantle and fit snugly against one another. The heat from radioactive processes within the planet's interior causes the plates to move, sometimes toward and sometimes away from each other. This movement is called plate motion, or tectonic shift. The huge continent eventually broke apart, creating new and ever-changing land masses and oceans. What are folds? Bending of rocks. Folds are bends in rock layers. Folding is the bending of rock layers, strata, in response to compressive stresses in Earth's crust. It produces curved, often wave-like structures whose shapes, orientations, and scales record the history and magnitude of tectonic forces. Types of folds. Anticline, convex upward fold with the oldest rocks in the core. Syncline, concave upward fold with the youngest rocks in the core. Monocline, step-like bend in otherwise horizontal strata. Isoclinal folds, limbs parallel due to intense compression. Recumbent or overturned folds, extreme deformation where the axial plane is nearly horizontal or beds are overturned. Famous landforms created by folds. Himalayas, Asia. Alps, Europe. Rocky Mountains, North America. These are called fold mountains. What are faults? Breaking of rocks. A fault is a fracture or zone of fractures between two blocks of rock. Faults allow the blocks to move relative to each other. This movement may occur rapidly, in the form of an earthquake, or may occur slowly, in the form of creep. Faults may range in length from a few millimeters to thousands of kilometers. Most faults produce repeated displacements over geologic time. During an earthquake, the rock on one side of the fault suddenly slips with respect to the other. The fault surface can be horizontal, vertical, or some arbitrary angle in between. Earth scientists use the angle of the fault with respect to the surface, known as the dip, and the direction of slip along the fault to classify faults. Faults that move along the direction of the dip plane are dip-slip faults and are described as either normal or reverse, thrust, depending on their motion. Faults that move horizontally are known as strike-slip faults and are classified as either right lateral or left lateral. Faults that show both dip-slip and strike-slip motion are known as oblique-slip faults. So they break and slip along a line called a fault line. Types of faults. Normal fault. A dip-slip fault in which the block above the fault has moved downward relative to the block below. This type of faulting occurs in response to extension. Reverse fault. A dip-slip fault in which the upper block, above the fault plane, moves up and over the lower block. This type of faulting is common in areas of compression, such as regions where one plate is being subducted under another. When the dip angle is shallow, a reverse fault is often described as a thrust fault. Strike-slip fault. Strike-slip faults are vertical, or nearly vertical, fractures where the blocks have mostly moved horizontally. If the block opposite an observer looking across the fault moves to the right, the slip style is termed right lateral. If the block moves to the left, the motion is termed left lateral. Landforms created by faults. Rift valleys. A rift valley is a linear-shaped lowland between several highlands or mountain ranges produced by the action of a geologic rift. Rifts are formed as a result of the pulling apart of the lithosphere due to extensional tectonics. On Earth, rifts can occur at all elevations, from the seafloor to plateaus and mountain ranges in continental crust, or in oceanic crust. Example: Great Rift Valley, Africa, one of the largest rift valleys on Earth. Block mountains and fault scarps. Block mountains are also called fault block mountains since they are formed due to faulting as a result of tensile and compressive forces. Block mountains are surrounded by faults on either side of rift valleys or grabens. Block mountains are created when large areas or blocks of earth are broken and displaced vertically. The uplifted blocks are termed as horsts, and the lowered blocks are called graben. The Great African Rift Valley, valley floor is a graben. The Rhine Valley and the Vosges Mountains in Europe are examples. Block mountains are also called fault block mountains since they are formed due to faulting as a result of tensile and compressive forces. Block mountains are surrounded by faults on either side of rift valleys or grabens. Fault scarps. A fault scarp is a small, step-like offset of the ground surface in which one side of a fault has shifted vertically in relation to the other. Examples: Sierra Nevada, USA, a block mountain. Vosges Mountains, France, and Black Forest, Germany. So the next time you see a mountain, valley, or cliff, remember, the slow but powerful movements of the Earth shaped it. This is how our planet builds its landscapes, from deep below.